Max Verstappen could have been a 5-time F1 Drivers' World Champion if Red Bull Racing had been aggressive in 2025 at Abu Dhabi as they were in 2021. Now, obviously, big congratulations for Lando. It's a long season. I've raced Lando personally myself. I've raced Max as well myself. But I'm very happy for Lando. He's a great driver, and it's fantastic for him. He's had a lot of pressure. But Verstappen should have done something different here with Red Bull, and this is what they missed out on. Now, remember, in 2021, Sergio Perez was able to hold up Lewis Hamilton by at least 7 seconds. Perez drove a lap 7 seconds slower. Tsunoda couldn't do that here. Tsunoda's defence was just embarrassing. Chocolate teapot defence, got a penalty in the course of doing it. And frankly, I think he's tarnished his reputation. It was very ham-fisted. But anyway, we end up at this situation here with Piastri in the lead of the race on 39-lap-old hard tyres, Verstappen in P2, and then Lando Norris boxes. Okay? Lando Norris boxes to cover off Charles Leclerc, who's on the very fast medium tyre. We've seen Hamilton just carving through the field on the medium tyre. Leclerc's now doing it, so Lando needs to cover off. Charles Leclerc ends up being the protagonist in this race rather than George Russell. George Russell ends up behind Fernando Alonso at the beginning of the race, and then no man's land. So Lando Norris comes out now, okay, and Verstappen is behind Piastri in the slipstream. Okay, so the timing could not be more perfect. We're going to see Verstappen breeze past Piastri, who's on 40-lap-old hard tyres. Okay, this is what Verstappen should do. This is a super aggressive strategy. If you don't do anything, it's very difficult to see how Max Verstappen is going to become a 5-time world champion. And it was worth risking it, in my view, because it's only 2 points in it between Lando Norris and Verstappen. If Verstappen boxes now, he will come out just ahead of Piastri and also a few seconds ahead of Lando Norris as well. And Verstappen can come out on the medium tyre. If they want to be super aggressive, they could try soft tyres, but he can come out on the medium tyre because he's gone from medium hards to mediums. Remember, Verstappen had 2 sets of mediums available, I believe, for this purpose, whereas the McLarens only had 1 set of fresh mediums available, so they can do this strategy. But Verstappen stays out and Piastri comes in. Now look where Piastri is going to come out compared to Lando. So Verstappen and Piastri were neck and neck. Look where Piastri is going to come out. It was a 2.2 second stop for Piastri, so it was a very good stop. Leclerc, meanwhile, is about to get past George Russell because Russell is on very worn hard tyres as well. You can see the sector time. Leclerc was a second quicker than George Russell in sector 2 alone. Piastri's on pit exit, goes under the tunnel. Norris is streaming into turn 1. It's a 120. Actually, we won't know because it's still showing as a outlap, isn't it, for Lando Norris? But there we go. There's the gap. Okay, so it's a few seconds of gap. Now, if Verstappen pits that lap, or if Verstappen pits this lap, he can definitely hold up Piastri and hold up Lando Norris. Why? We know that Verstappen is essentially clear of Lando Norris. Like, Verstappen's got a pit stop here he can choose to use or not to use. He can use the pit stop and come out on fresh tyres, or he can try and stay out and they're never going to gain a pit stop on him. Now, in a traditional race with no wider context, it'd be perfectly legitimate to stay out here on this tyre. He's got the hard tyre. He's seen Oscar Piastri just do 40 laps. He's only got to do 17 more laps. He's only 18 laps at the moment, so he can definitely do it. Verstappen should totally box now. If Verstappen boxes now, he's going to have fresh tyres, hold up Piastri, hold up Lando Norris, who is now being hunted down by Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc just went half a second quicker than Lando in the second sector. When Charles Leclerc has DRS, that Ferrari is an absolute weapon. Now, they didn't do it here, but there was still an opportunity because you can see that the gap between Verstappen and Lando Norris is 28 seconds. Alternative strat that Red Bull could have done to be really aggressive and could have played a card that could have given him a percentage chance to win the championship for Verstappen would be going even a few laps longer and going onto the soft tyre at the end, because then they would have come out behind Piastri, because Piastri's undercutting Verstappen right now. Make no mistake about it, it's a big undercut by Piastri, but Verstappen could ignore that and go onto the softs at the ends. And I'm very surprised they didn't do that. I think the reason they didn't do it is also the main reason why Verstappen hasn't won this championship, which is he lost his cool in Catalonia. If you go back to Catalonia, Verstappen saw red, and we covered it at the time on this channel in a live stream. Verstappen completely saw red. If he hadn't seen red there, he would have had the points to win this championship. But also, I think Red Bull want to manage Verstappen's image very carefully. If Verstappen had pitted here and done shenanigans and held up Piastri and Norris, if there'd been some sort of contact, I think Verstappen's character would, for the rest of his career and life maybe, will be firmly locked in like he can't race clean, he just dive bombs. Remember the Verstappen character we used to have a few seasons ago? Even before he was a world champion, we had this character of Verstappen. Red Bull have been really able to craft Verstappen now into like this different sort of character where he's just like a genius behind the wheel. He's like otherworldly. And they have been able to maintain that here by not pitting Verstappen. I believe they've sacrificed the World Championship for his reputation, because Max Verstappen has greater credentials coming out of this season than he did coming in. Because at the beginning of the season, no one expected Verstappen to be in the mix. If you think back to Melbourne with the McLarens both running off in the wet weather, absolute cinema. But he has now proved that he can do it in a slower car. So Verstappen has arguably won more by not playing the risk, playing the percentages of maybe a 20% chance of winning this World Championship by boxing and holding up Piastri and trying to help Leclerc catch and all that kind of stuff. And maybe if Kimi Antonelli had been up there or Russell had been up there on a better strategy, maybe it would have been worth it. But I think they preserved his reputation. So let me know what you think in the comments. Please subscribe to Formula Fan TV if you enjoy these anecdotes and these analysis. Lots more content coming, and I'll see you in the next video on the channel.